Hey y'all, countryman. I got something on my mind, and I'm gonna get a lot of controversy on the video. I really don't care. Got to get it off my chest. Everybody's down on Trump. Even Fox News, they want to know at broker convention. Everybody's writing the guy off before to get his all the necessary votes before the convention. I mean, they done wrote him off, and then they want all the delegates. You vote for who you're bound to vote for the first time, and then you can vote for everybody else. And then they're talking about bringing different people in at the convention that haven't even run for pres or run for the elections, the primaries or whatever. But the I like what the old Native American Indian said. He says it's left wing and right wing party, and what we haven't figured out, it's the same dadgum bird. So yeah, I don't know why. The establishment doesn't like Trump because he hasn't got any coattails. What does that mean? Um, he doesn't need their money. He doesn't need anybody to help him get in. He is a people person. Is he the right people person? Don't know. We'll find out when he gets in her. But I do agree with him in Colorado. They didn't even have an election out there. You got to go three different electoral vote deals, even to get to the electoral convention in Cleveland when they go vote there, and not one vote from the public was even cast. I mean, it's their system. I know that's their system the way it was. I kind of agree with Trump. That's a bullshit system. But okay, we get to Trump. I mean, and say he doesn't get in, and we get Cruz for president. That's okay. If Cruz is elected, if Hillary is elected, everybody that votes for that president, go for it. I mean, we even might have a socialist Bernie Sanders. Just seen another Cruz rally or Trump rally in Pittsburgh. They've got riots outside. Well, you know, Hitler had the same thing when he was running. He used the brown shirts to spread hate and discontent, and well, they wound up killing people. And who is doing this? The Bernie Sanders supporters. If you want to go down that road and elect a socialist uh, president, Hillary ain't no better. She's I don't know if she's got her papers or not, but her ideas are not Republican, a republic, not Republican, but a republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, unto the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We don't live in a democracy. Well, they talk about, well, that's the democratic way. Well, that ain't no democratic way. We wanted the republic way. When our voice, our vote, everything counts. It's all in black and white, and there's no bullshit votes and backdoor deals or whatever. And all the people that's been up there for 30 years, someone's been up there for 40 years. Uh, Here's the problem with term limits. Everybody's whining about term limits on Facebook and all this stuff. You're not going to ever get term limits because the people who vote on that law is the people that are in there. So it it would take a constitutional amendment, and God help us that we do not want a constitutional amendment. When you want to add something to the Constitution, that opens up the whole Constitution. And not only can they add something, they can take away stuff like your Second Amendment, your First Amendment, your Fourth Amendment rights, Fifth Amendment rights. That's a can of worms that we don't want to open up. They say that Obama said that the Constitution ain't nothing but an old piece of paper. Well, it is a living document that has worked pretty dadgum good for the past 200 and some odd years. Uh, Our forefathers had the foresight, foresight, go figure, uh, to write it down. I don't know how long they sat and figured out what was going to be in the Constitution. They didn't do it overnight at a over a 6 pack of beer, but it was probably done at a tavern. And it wasn't one night, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks or maybe longer. I do not remember. Somebody check it up, let me know how long it did take. But getting back, Cruz gets elected, Hillary gets elected, Bernie gets elected. God help us if any of those three get elected, because they are worser, and worsest of the three. Um, Everybody's against Trump because he is anti-establishment. Fine. Okay, here's the deal. What happens if the people who vote for Trump, which we're talking up in tens of millions of people right now, go ahead and put Trump up in, let's say, Trump Plaza or somewhere else, and have him negotiate trade deals with other countries to bring our manufacturing back to America and bypass the federal government in D.C. inside the 495 Beltway altogether. What do you think about that? I mean, just disregard anything they say up there. Even the Bible says if you're going to, obey Caesar, unless the law that Caesar's written down doesn't go against God's law. If it goes against God's law, don't do it. I got a buddy of mine. He says it's only a law if they tell you if you can't do it. Say prohibition, drinking beer or alcohol or smoking dope. That's only a law if you obey the law. If guns are outlawed, only outlaws are having guns. Well, there's stupid people out there in Hollywood that says that the Second Amendment only talks about is for muskets. How ridiculous can you get? Jesus in the Bible says, if you ain't got a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. Well, Jesus wasn't talking about guns. Well, that's because they didn't have them back then. They didn't have cars back then either. I like what the one taxi driver said. He had somebody that offended because he was smoking in his cab, and he said it was against his religion. He says, he says we didn't do it in the old days like that, and he says back in the old days they didn't have taxi cabs either. Get out and find yourself a camel, and kick the guy out of the taxi. Just because you're offended and have to go to a safe place doesn't mean you're not an idiot and wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. What happens if we use Trump after the election? Even if he wins, goes to the White House, good deal. If he doesn't, let's put him up Trump Plaza and see if he can't negotiate more trade deals and bring more jobs back to America and put more people to work and bypass the government altogether. It's just a brainstorm from a dumb redneck truck driver that doesn't have anything else to do. But let's bypass Washington, D.C. and just see what Trump can do to help America without all their hoops that they're wanting to jump through and everything else. God bless countrymen out now. Just remember the brown shirts. They wound up killing people. And what do you got is all these protesters that are spreading hate and discontent. I don't know who sent them, Bernie, Hillary, Soros. I don't care who sent them, but they're paid protesters. Who's paying them? Follow the money. It's my opinion. I hope I get a lot of hate mail on this. I really don't care. Got it off my chest. I feel better. Countrymen out for now. God bless. If I can do it, anybody can.